The rain tapped softly against the windows of the University of Washington's quiet library. Sarah Mitchell sat by herself in a dimly lit corner, her fingers curled around a coffee cup, a weathered journal lying open in front of her. She had always believed rain carried memories, soft, distant, aching memories that never fully left the skin. Her pen moved slowly across the paper. "Life is an unfinished story," she wrote. "And sometimes the people who try to complete it disappear. Before they write the ending," she paused. A flicker of movement caught her eye. A figure standing by the bookshelf, tall with messy hair and an expression that held more silence than speech. He noticed her gaze and walked over. "Is that Sylvia Plath?" he asked, motioning toward her journal. She looked up, blinking. "No," she said quietly. "That one's mine." He smiled faintly, something tired behind it. "I'm Aiden Carter," he said. "Guest lecturer. English department." And then, as though it had already been written somewhere, the rain between them disappeared. From that moment on, Aiden and Sarah crossed paths often, in the library, in lectures, during student readings. They never said much, and perhaps that was what made it different. Their connection was built in the quiet. They bonded over quotes, unfinished poems, books half-read. Aiden carried a darkness with him, a kind of pain he never spoke of, and Sarah never asked about. She just listened to his silences. It wasn't love at first sight. It was slower, quieter, like mist settling over a city that never stopped. Moving dot, but then one morning he was gone dot, no message. No reason. He simply vanished dot. Sarah waited. A week. Then a month. Then she stopped counting. She stopped writing. The journal remained closed, gathering dust in her drawer. The rain continued, but now it sounded like absence. Even the book she loved tasted of bitterness. No one else understood what had happened, because no one else knew about them. Not really. They had existed in the in-between. In the pauses. Between heartbeats, 2 years passed. Sarah graduated. She got a job at a local publishing house. She smiled when she had to, laughed when she was expected to, but part of her remained frozen in that library corner, where someone had once asked her about her writing and never returned. Then one night, during a spoken word event at a downtown cafe, she took the mic. Her voice was steady, but her words weren't. They trembled. The audience listened. Her poem wasn't about love. It was about the ache of never being given closure. When she stepped off the stage, the applause was loud. But a single pair of eyes in the crowd made her stop in her tracks. Aiden was standing at the back. Rain dripping from his jacket, a familiar leather journal in his hands, the same one she had once left behind. He didn't move, didn't smile, just waited. She walked toward him, breath shallow. "You left," she said. He nodded. No. Why?" Her voice cracked. "My dad," he said. "He had cancer. I had to go back to New York. I didn't know how to say goodbye, and after you died, I didn't know how to come back." Sarah stared at him. 2 years of unanswered questions floated between them. "And now?" she asked. "Now," he said softly, "I'm here. And I don't want to run anymore." They didn't talk much that night. He walked her home under a shared umbrella. Number. Promises were made. No grand confessions. Just the quiet of two people who once shared something real, trying to hold on to the pieces they had left. Over the next few weeks, Aiden showed up often at her bookstore readings, outside her office with coffee, sometimes just sitting quietly across from her in the same cafe. He didn't push, didn't ask. He just showed up. And slowly, piece by piece, she began to let him back in. One afternoon, he brought her a first edition of a rare poetry book. Inside, he had written, "If love is real, it finds its way back." Even after the longest silence, she didn't reply, not that day. But she read that line over and over, and when she opened her old journal that night, she wrote, "Maybe real love doesn't vanish. Maybe it just waits for us to be ready." On a rainy evening in February, they sat together again at the library, the place where it had all started. The storm outside was heavy, thunder rolling. Sarah looked at him and asked, "Will you leave?" "Again?" He shook his head. "No." She smiled, and this time the rain felt like forgiveness. They never needed to define what they were. They just began again, not from where they left off, but from where they were. Older, wiser, more honest thought, and when he held her hand in that quiet coffee shop weeks later, he said only one thing: "I'm not asking you to forget the past. I'm asking if I can stay for the future." Sarah looked at their entwined fingers and whispered, "Only if we promise not to leave mid-sentence." And outside, the rain kept falling, soft, steady, and healing.